When we started the EMBED feeder project, we wanted to ensure absolutely every key element was met. We wanted a feeder that had the correct weight distribution, which is vitally important when it comes to maximum casting distance and getting the feeder landing correctly on the water. We wanted a feeder that works well underwater, so you know exactly where your bait is, how it's working, and that most importantly, that it's positioned correctly. And we also wanted a feeder that was interchangeable and could be changed with ease, depending on venues and weather conditions. We believe we've created an absolute game-changing product here, and the ultimate feed for any commercial fishing you do, and a product that's guaranteed to put more fish into your net. Let's talk about some of the key features on the EMBED feeder, starting firstly with the interchangeable stem system. Now, MAP was the first brand to bring this to market some 10 or 12 years ago. It enables you to change feeders quickly and with ease. All you have to do is simply slide the feeder on or off the stem system. There's a slot on the back of the feeder which enables you to grip it around the line and slide it down the tube, and it locks into place securely. Now let's talk about inside of the feeder. Now the inner we've made slightly deeper than other feeders on the market. There's a simple reason for that. We wanted to have more bait inside. With more bait inside and the raised walls on the feeder, we wanted to guarantee that when that feeder hits that lake bed, that bait remains inside. The design of the base has got a convex base, which basically means it's got a rounded base. The normal flatbed feeders have got very flat bases, so the reason we wanted to create ours as a rounded base is it creates less water displacement when it enters the water. So it creates more of a plop than a big splash as it enters. So it's perfect when you're fishing shallower water or when you want to create less disturbance in the winter. Obviously, because it creates less water displacement on impacts, it also protects your bait more when it goes into the water, so it also guarantees that the bait remains in the feeder when it hits the deck. Let's talk about the angled base vents, which is a very clever design and which are on the base of the feeder. They're there for a reason. When that feeder hits a lake bed, the water pushes up through the vents, loosening the particles or ground bait inside. Now those particles get loosened up enough so when you get a carp or fish coming over the dinner plate and sucking it up, it's all loosened enough there to go up into the fish's mouth. But it also loosens up enough so that if you don't have a bite and you retrieve, your bait stays in your peg and doesn't remain in the feeder. Let's face it, nobody knows what's happening underwater. Nobody knows what happens to your hook lengths underwater. It doesn't matter how well you fill that hybrid feeder or method feeder, there is no guarantee, even with moulds, that your hook bait remains in place. Until now, the EMBED feeder is the only feeder on the market that guarantees you your hook bait will remain in place. The key feature on all EMBED feeders is the unique rubber line grip, which is positioned on the base of each feeder. Producing a super soft line-friendly rubber, the grip retains your hook length in place, allowing perfect presentation of your hook bait, and guarantees your hook bait remains in place on that dinner plate, on top of that food, no matter what disturbance happens underwater, 100% of the time. The line grip also allows you to adjust where you want your hook bait to sit within the feeder. By simply pulling the hook length up or down through the clip dictates on where you want that bait to sit. You can even dictate the direction of the hook point depending on how you twist the line within the grip, which is a huge benefit to any feeder angler and one that no other feeder on the market can offer you.